Hey guys, it's Bretman117. Welcome back to the channel and part 2 of the Banished Phantom build. If you missed out on part 1 of this build, don't worry, that's what you can see going on the video at the moment. So you can have a catch up while I fill you in on what's happened since part 1. I have made a few amendments to the build since part 1, mainly just a few detailing areas, but the actual construction has stayed pretty much the same. I'm sure the same thing will happen for part 2 as I go on to build part 3. Before we get into part 2, I just want to give a very quick shout out to all of those that responded to my question about the blue repulsor pieces with the grey painted edge. I wasn't sure which set they came in. A number of people rightly pointed me in the right direction, which was the Covenant Seraph set. That seems to be the only set with that grey painted edge. Another shout out I want to give is to John Lewis, who very kindly sent me an absolute torrent of additional images of the Halo Wars 2 Banished Phantom. There's no way I would have got through this part 2 of the build without those additional images, so thank you very much to John. And then a final shout out to Colin Perkins from Podcast Evolved. He's been an absolute legend. He's managed to help me secure a cable harvester set from the Destiny line, which I will need to carry out the top section of this build, which is where all the red is. The only way I could obtain enough red pieces in the shapes that I wanted to was with that cable harvester set. Unfortunately, none of the Infinite sets have enough red in them to be able to finish this MOC. Now, I know it won't be the same red as the current Infinite line, but unfortunately there's no choice. It's either that or nothing. There just simply wouldn't be enough parts if I didn't buy that set. So as I say, big thank you to Colin for getting that sent over to me. It is on its way, so hopefully going to receive that soon, and then I can continue the build with part 3. So with all that said, let's see how I got on with part 2 of this build. Okay guys, so that's just about it for part 2, so I'll quickly run you through where we're at. Now, once again, a couple of minutes worth of footage for you was hours worth of building and quite a lot of headaches for me. I'll be honest, of all the builds that I've done, this is by far the most challenging due to all the different angle changes and so on. But it's finally got to a point where I feel like the perseverance has paid off. I'm really into this build now and I cannot wait to start part 3. As I said, part 3 will consist of the roof structure. So all these areas around here I've left as they are, simply because until I get all the pieces that I've got from that cable harvester set, I cannot start to plan how this is all going to fit into the roof. But it's going to be a headache, it's going to be challenging, but I'm really looking forward to it because that's what's really going to make this MOC, the roof section. It's the make or break time. I've got to get it right, so fingers crossed. Now, in regards to where we are so far, I'm really pleased with how much interior space I've managed to maintain, and the dimensions so far feel like they're coming together nicely. So as you can see, we've got an absolute acre of space in the front here. A couple of the modifications I did from the first part was I added these pieces in here, which you may or may not be able to pick up on camera just about. They've got texture to them, which in the extra pictures I got, I realised I didn't have that first of all. So I've changed those, which I'm pleased about. I also strengthened up the front here by putting these pieces in here, these hinge pieces. So these side pieces are now locked in, which has made the front end much more sturdier. As you can see, I can already pick it up and nothing wants to fall off, and there's still a lot more strengthening to be done yet. There'll be some strengthening going across here once I know where I want to divide the cockpit to engineering / operations section just behind the cockpit, and then obviously the troop bay back here. So until I know how I'm going to do all the interior, I've not finalized any cross members here, and it will also dictate how the roof goes on. So I need to do all that in one go, which, as I say, hopefully will be part 3. In regards to the floor section, I will have to raise it slightly along here just to give these pieces here a bit more support. Ideally, I don't want to lift the floor height anymore, but I may have to. So I'll look into that when I get on to part 3. These sections aren't quite finished either. If I lift it up, you can see underneath the doors at the back section there's a lot of daylight through there. I will drop those down. I'll figure out a way to fill in this gap along here because that doesn't look very nice like that. In regards to the doors, I am really pleased with them. As you can see here, you can just pop them all down one at a time and they do lock into place, so they all come down level. So as you can see, there it is with all troop bay doors open, ready for the troops to disembark. And I'm really pleased with that look. Even without the roof on, I'm super excited to get that interior done. In regards to the interior, as I say, cockpit, I've got a few good ideas for the cockpit, so I'm just waiting for some additional pieces to turn up for that. Coming back into engineering or operations, I'm going to use the clear plastic walls with the prints on from the Spirit dropship set that I've got. So intention is to put one on either side. I think that will make a nice operations bay. On the back, I'm going to have some more displays here to operate the gravity lift, which has been changed since last time. The interior there had lots of these curved pieces making that circle, which underneath they are still there, but I used these turret pieces from the Orbital Banshee set. So the grav lift can just be removed and then figures are able to drop through, and underneath, once all the underneath is finalised, now the actual stand isn't finalised yet, I've just got these clear plastic blocks for now. That's just for me to build on, but I'll come up with something else. But I'll get another one of these out of one of my other Phantom sets, and you can just plug the grav lift into the bottom there, so you can put as many of those into each other as you want all the way down. So that would be nice for dioramas. Once again, let's just see how he goes through that. There he goes, out the grav lift. Really pleased with that. So that's the only interior bit I've got onto so far, but as I say, I am very pleased with that. On the back, some very light detailing. I'm just kind of making something that is almost like a reactor for the gravity lift. I'm going to put some of these side piece stud pieces in there so I can put some more detailing on the back there. But as I say, that's going to be all the interior. I'm not sure whether the interior will be the last phase. It will probably have to come after I've done the roof section, simply because I can't fully know what I'm able to do until I've got that roof finalised. The only other bit that I've got ready for here is these sections here, so I can use them as weapons racks, so hopefully be able to get some weapons on the wall there. The only other thing to show is with these doors here, you can't fold this door up with the gun on, unfortunately. It will hit the top there, but it's simply a case of take the gun off and then you can close them up. And I used all these pieces from the Infinity set to try and resemble lighting on the load bay doors. And final view of it with all the doors up. So like I say guys, it's not finished, but I am very pleased with the direction it's going in. I'm really looking forward to building part 3. So I hope you enjoyed that. As always, if you did enjoy it, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed and you want to see more, please consider subscribing. And until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.